In today's video, we're going to share powerful human psychology tips that will not only increase your value and respect among people, but will also help you get others to agree with you. In other words, people will do what you want them to do, and this is scientifically proven. If you learn to use these psychological tricks, you'll become a high-value person, and even those who never took you seriously before will start respecting you. Because people always value and respect those who are more powerful, dominant, and clever than them, and these tricks will teach you exactly that. The technique we're discussing today is called reverse psychology, and it's used by the world's biggest companies, brands, and influential people for their benefit. In reverse psychology, instead of directly getting your way, you indirectly influence the other person's decision, and in the end, the result is exactly what you wanted. So in this video, we're going to share 7 psychological tricks with you. Pay close attention to every step, and whatever you do, don't miss the last rule. Otherwise, none of these tricks will work for you. Rule number 1. People crave what's hard to get. You've probably heard that people only value what they lose or what's difficult to obtain. In a fascinating experiment, researchers offered people chocolates from 2 jars. One jar had a large quantity of chocolates, while the other had very few. Participants were then asked to rate the quality of chocolates from both jars. The results: the chocolates from the jar with fewer pieces were rated as higher quality, even though they were identical. This proves that we value things more when they're scarce or difficult to obtain. The marketing application. The best example of this is when a product is offered as a limited time-only deal. When customers are given a deadline, if you want this product, buy it as quickly as possible, they automatically become more attracted to that product. And in the end, that product generates significant profit and sells out. The psychological principle. This trick doesn't just apply to marketing strategies. It applies everywhere in life. We all believe that what we get with difficulty is better and more valuable. We judge quality based on availability. How to apply this in your life? If you want to become a valuable person and earn respect, the first thing you need to do is reduce your availability. Start keeping some distance from people who like you too much, so that your scarcity increases your value. When you make yourself too available to someone, people actually stop giving you the value you deserve. You might think that if you're extremely available for someone, if you agree with everything they say, they'll give you more respect and value. You're completely wrong. They'll treat you poorly. So be as unavailable as possible. The science behind it. Research shows that constant availability creates the perception of low value, while strategic scarcity signals high value. Think of premium brands, exclusive clubs, or sought-after professionals. They all leverage scarcity. Rule number 2, increase your value using reverse psychology in 1756. King Frederick II needed to save his people from starvation. He found a solution: potatoes. He learned that a new crop had arrived from South America that was very beneficial for people and could be easily grown. So he told his people to grow potatoes and explained the benefits. But his people weren't willing to grow this vegetable at all because they said potatoes looked dirty and were completely tasteless. The king's strategy. Now, the king used reverse psychology to increase the value of potatoes and got his way. He ordered guards to be placed around all potato fields to protect them and prevent theft. And to make them even more valuable, he also staged some potato thefts. The result: people started thinking that potatoes must be extremely valuable if people are stealing them. And then everyone started growing potatoes in their fields. The application. Similarly, you can use reverse psychology to increase your own value. You just need to show people that your time and your life are extremely valuable. You're not always available so easily. You're very different from others. If someone treats you poorly, show them that you can easily leave them. The psychological impact. This will not only make you a valuable person among others, but will also make you a hero in your own eyes. When you treat yourself as valuable, others begin to see you that way too. Research backing. Studies in behavioral economics show that perceived value often matters more than intrinsic value. The velvet rope effect demonstrates that exclusivity drives desire. Rule number 3. The more you give, the more will be expected from you. The reciprocity principle. You've probably noticed that when you go to a restaurant and the waiter brings the bill, they also bring some complimentary items like sweets or fennel seeds, which are completely free for you. The science. According to research, waiters who offer mints to their customers at the end see a 3% increase in their tips. But waiters who give 2 mints instead of 1 don't see this number just double. It jumps to 14%. Why this works? Most people don't want to feel indebted to anyone, and if someone does them a favor, they want to repay it as quickly as possible. No matter how you behave with people, if you give them a gift, give them a compliment, it doesn't matter how small or big the favor is, they'll automatically start valuing you and respecting you. They'll try to pay you back in some way. The critical balance. However, everything should be done within limits. If you overdo it, people will start taking you lightly. So you need to use this powerful trick, but within boundaries. The research. Dr. Robert Cialdini's work on influence shows that reciprocity is one of the 6 universal principles of persuasion. However, overgiving can backfire, creating an imbalance that makes others uncomfortable or suspicious. Strategic application. Give thoughtfully, not excessively. Make your gestures meaningful, not routine. Allow others the opportunity to reciprocate. Maintain your boundaries while being generous. Rule 4. Use the Pratfall Effect in psychology. There's a concept called the Pratfall Effect, according to which if you make a mistake, it makes you more attractive. Whereas usually, people try to appear as perfect persons who never make mistakes and do everything perfectly. The research. According to the Pratfall Effect, when you make mistakes in front of people, they feel more relatable to you and start liking you because they see you as one of them. Because we humans like imperfect humans, not someone like a machine who's absolutely perfect with no room for error. The famous study, Elliot Aronson, a researcher at the University of Texas, showed University of Minnesota male students a tape recording of people taking a quiz. The people who accidentally spilled coffee after finishing the quiz were rated higher in likability compared to those who didn't spill coffee after finishing the quiz. The application. So to increase your likability, instead of showing yourself as perfect, do the reverse and show yourself as a normal human being who isn't completely perfect and who makes mistakes. This will make you more real and attractive, because nowadays most people have become fake and unattractive in their quest to appear perfect. The authenticity factor. In an age of Instagram filters and curated social media personas, genuine imperfection stands out. People are tired of manufactured perfection. They crave authenticity. How to implement? Share your learning journey, including failures. Admit when you don't know something. Laugh at yourself occasionally. Show vulnerability in appropriate contexts. Don't try to hide every flaw. Important. Note, the Pratfall Effect works best for people who are already perceived as competent. Incompetent people making mistakes don't benefit from this effect. They just appear more incompetent. Rule number 5. People want to be consistent with their past. Our decisions are based on our past experiences and knowledge. Whatever we've done in the past or whatever we've thought, we act according to that. We want our life to remain consistent with our past. This often has negative effects too, and then you start making the same mistakes repeatedly. The psychological principle, for example, when someone asks you to do a small task and you do it for them, there's a higher chance that when that person gives you a bigger task, you won't be able to say no. This is basic human nature, and you can use it too. The commitment mechanism. When a person makes a commitment, they subconsciously start trying to prove that decision right, and at that time, they can't quickly decide whether it's right or wrong because they want to remain consistent with their commitment. Practical example. People working on weight loss are often told to track their weight every week because it keeps reminding them how consistently they're following their commitment. The cognitive dissonance factor. Once we publicly commit to something, changing course creates psychological discomfort called cognitive dissonance. Our brain works hard to maintain consistency to avoid this discomfort. How to use this? Get small commitments first, then build to larger ones. Make people's commitments public when possible. Remind people of their past statements or actions. Use phrases like, you said you believed in, or last time you mentioned. The defense. Be aware of your own consistency bias. Just because you committed to something in the past doesn't mean you should continue if it's no longer serving you. Intelligent consistency is good. Stubborn consistency is limiting. Rule number 6. People look for social proof in social proof. We see how people watch others and start following them. This is also called herd behavior. When we see many people doing something, there's a higher chance that we'll start following them without thinking. The peer pressure element. We also see peer pressure in this, where people around us motivate us to do that work. It's a kind of social pressure where we feel that if everyone is doing this, it must be right. The online shopping example. For example, when you start making any online purchase, you first check that product's ratings, how many people have rated it positively. Now, if this rating is more than 4 stars and it's been rated by 500 plus people, you'll prefer to buy that product over a product whose rating is 5 stars, but has only been rated by a few people. The psychology behind it. Social proof works because of information cascades and conformity bias. We assume that if many people are doing something, they must have information we don't have. It's a mental shortcut that usually serves us well. Types of social proof. Expert social proof. Endorsements from credible expert celebrity. Social proof. Endorsements from famous people. User social proof. Testimonials and reviews from regular users. Wisdom of crowds. Large numbers of people using something. Friends. Social proof. People similar to us doing something. How to leverage this. Display testimonials and reviews prominently. Share numbers. Users. Customers. Followers. Get endorsements from respected figures in your field. Create fear of missing out. FOMO. With social proof, use case studies showing others' success. The warning. Social proof can lead to dangerous herd behavior. Just because many people believe or do something doesn't make it right. Think critically, even when facing overwhelming social proof. Rule number 7. The reverse action. The embodied cognition theory. To understand this rule, You first need to understand the embodied mind theory, according to which our actions and emotions are connected to each other. It doesn't matter which came first. The result is always the same. The traditional belief. But most people have created a simple rule in their life. When we're happy, then we smile. When we're motivated, only then do we take action. The reverse psychology application. Using reverse psychology, you can do the opposite and achieve the same results. When you feel sad, smile. If you feel depressed and unmotivated, take action. If you want to boost confidence, act like a highly confident person. The powerful example. For example, when you listen to sad songs during sad times, you'll go deeper into depression. But when you do the opposite instead, when you listen to uplifting music or motivational content during sad times, you'll start feeling better. The scientific basis. This is based on the facial feedback hypothesis and embodied cognition research. Studies show that forcing yourself to smile can actually improve your mood. Adopting a power pose can increase confidence hormones. Acting confident makes you feel more confident. Physical actions directly influence emotional states. Research. Examples. Studies show people who hold a pencil in their teeth, forcing a smile, rate cartoons as funnier. Amy Cuddy's research on power posing showed increased testosterone and decreased cortisol. Action precedes motivation. You don't need to feel motivated to start. Starting creates motivation. Practical applications. For sadness, stand up straight. Smile, listen to upbeat music, go for a walk. For anxiety, practice deep breathing. Adopt relaxed body language. For confidence, stand tall. Make eye contact, speak clearly and slowly. For motivation, just start. Do the first small step without waiting to feel like it. The breakthrough understanding. You don't have to wait until you feel like doing something to do it. Your actions create your feelings, not the other way around. This is revolutionary because most people wait for motivation or good feelings before taking action, but high performers act first and let the feelings follow. The neuroscience. Your brain can't always distinguish between genuine emotions and simulated ones. When you smile, your brain releases dopamine and serotonin. When you stand confidently, your hormones shift, your body sends signals to your brain, and your brain responds accordingly. Conclusion. The path to high value. These 7 rules aren't just psychological tricks. They're principles based on decades of research into human behavior. Used ethically, they can increase your perceived value, earn you genuine respect, help you influence decisions, make you more likable and relatable, give you control over your emotional states. The ethical framework. Remember, with great power comes great responsibility. These techniques work because they tap into fundamental human psychology. Use them to add value to others. Lives build, genuine relationships achieve mutual benefits, improve yourself and help others grow. Don't use them to manipulate people for selfish gain, harm others, create unfair advantages, destroy trust. The integration. The most powerful approach is combining these rules strategically. Be scarce, Rule 1, but valuable when present, Rule 3. Use reverse psychology, Rule 2, while being authentic, Rule 4. Leverage commitment, Rule 5, and social proof, Rule 6. Ethically, control your state through action, Rule 7, to show up as your best self. Final thoughts. True influence comes from genuine value, integrity, and serving others. These psychological principles can open doors, but only your character and consistent actions keep them open. Master these techniques, but more importantly, master yourself. Because the greatest power isn't controlling others. It's having complete control over your own mind, emotions, and actions. That's where true freedom and genuine high value live. If you found this video valuable, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you don't miss any upcoming content. Thank you for watching.